What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to another video. On this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make an off-shoulder blouse with elastic at the upper part. So I have gone ahead and folded my fabric into two using the largest part of my body. The largest part of my body, of my upper part, is obviously my bust. So I folded with my bust measurement, and then I added about 3 to 4 inches. I added 3 inches for ease and seam allowance, but you can go ahead and add 4 inches depending on how big you want the upper part to be. Okay, so I also marked out the shoulder line, and we are going to start inserting our measurement from that shoulder line. The first measurement I'm going to go ahead and mark is the length of the blouse. So I'm going to place my measuring tape 5 inches on that shoulder line that I marked downwards. So this depends on how low you want it to be. You can use from 4 inches to 6 inches. So here I left the measuring tape that way and I placed it on the 5 inches, and I'm going to mark 18 inches downwards, which is going to be the full length of the blouse. And then I would add 1 inch for the elastic band casing and 1 inch to hem the lower part. So that is 20 inches. Remember I said I wanted 18 inches, and I added 2 inches extra, 1 for hem allowance and 1 for elastic band. And then I marked this point into a straight line like so. Alright, so on the shoulder line, I'm going to mark a quarter of my bust measurement, which is 8.5 inches. Then I'll add 1.5 inch for the ease allowance. This depends on you. You can use 1 inch, you can use 2 inches. So I added 1 inch seam allowance to that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and place my measuring tape on that 5 inches on the shoulder line like I did before, and I'm going to mark my armhole round, which is 8 inches. And on that point where the seam allowance ends, I'm going to mark 3 inches inwards on the shoulder line like so. And then I'm going to connect the points to form my armhole. So after that, I'll just cut out this. Alright, so this is the the front panel for the blouse. I'm going to go ahead and use this one to cut out the back panel of this blouse, okay? So the back panel and the front panel is going to be exactly the same. So I have folded my fabric the same way I did for the front, and I placed it on it, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out. Alright, so after cutting it out, I have the two panels for the blouse, both the front and the back panels here. So opened, this is what I have. You see how it looks. So this is going to go on this part like this, okay? So the two of them are equal, like I said before. So it's going to go on it like this. So I'm going to set this aside and show you how to cut the sleeve of this dress. So here I folded my fabric into two, using my armhole round divided by 2 with some extra 3 inches seam allowance. So I'm going to place my measuring tape on that 5 inches again, and I'm going to mark the full length of the sleeve. So for this sleeve, I want it to be 18 inches, but I added 2 inches extra, 1 for the hem allowance and the other one for the elastic band casing, the same way I added for the blouse, okay? So I decided to add 1 inch more to the sleeve because I felt like what I marked before was not long enough. So I decided to add 1 inch extra to make the sleeve longer, okay? So on the shoulder line, I'm going to mark my armhole round divided by 2, which is 7 inches. I'm going to add 1.5 inches for seam allowance, for ease allowance, like I added for the front. And I'm going to add 1 inch for seam allowance as well on this line. And I'm going to place the measuring tape on 5 inches like this on the shoulder line again. Then I'll go down by 3 inches, which is my armhole round, and I'm going to mark 3 inches inwards the way I did for the blouse, and I'm going to connect the points now to form my armhole. All right, so after that I'll just go ahead and cut out my sleeve. So I'll use this sleeve to cut the second sleeve. So if you want your sleeve to be smaller at the lower part, you can go ahead and curve yours like this. But I want mine to be this big, which is why I cut it straight like so, okay? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out the second sleeve. Alright, after cutting the second sleeve, I have the pieces for the blouse all ready. I have the 2 pieces for the front and the back, and the 2 sleeves for the blouse. So what I'm going to do, is to take the blouse to the sewing machine and put them together with the seam allowance I added. So I'm going to put it together and then I'm going to make a stitch closing the 2 side seams, okay? Alright, and for the sleeve as well, this is the sleeve, the 2 sleeves. So I'm going to go ahead and close the sides of the sleeves as well, like so. And this one as well, I'm going to stitch on it like so. Then I'll come right back and show you. So this is what I have after closing the sides. I stitched on the sides of the blouse and on the sides of the sleeve. So this is the blouse you're seeing here, and this is the sleeve. So I have the both sleeves right here with the sides closed. So the next thing I want to do is to show you how to attach the sleeve to the blouse. First, I'm going to go ahead and turn the blouse inside out, meaning I'm going to bring out the wrong side of the blouse, like so. And then I'm going to leave the sleeve on the right side like this, and I'm going to put the sleeve inside the blouse like so. Just the way I'm doing it here. Put the sleeve inside, and I'm going to match the armhole. So if you did the right thing, the sleeve and the blouse should be equal on the armhole side. You're going to match the seam you made, and you see that they should be equal like this. And I'm going to go ahead and stitch this to the blouse, and I'm going to do the same to the other sleeve as well. So after doing that, this is what I have for the blouse. The sleeves have been attached to the blouse. You see how wide the shoulder is looking. Not to worry, we are going to use our elastic band to hold it. So after stitching it, this is what I have, both the front and the back. The sleeve is already on the blouse. So next, I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and make a casing on it. But first, I'm going to go ahead and turn it wrong side out. Okay, so if you are using this big elastic band, you are going to make sure you make a casing that would be able to accommodate this elastic band. Okay, so that's what I'm just showing you. So you are going to fold and fold again. Make space that would be enough to contain this elastic band. All right, so that is what you want to do. For me, I did not use this elastic band. I used a smaller one, but I just wanted to show you in case you want to use this kind of 1-inch elastic band. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a stitch around the shoulder from the sleeve to the blouse, you know, all around the shoulder. I'm just going to make a stitch on it. So after doing that, this is what I have for the shoulder. I have made the stitch all around the shoulder line of my dress. I hemmed the lower part of the sleeve, and then I hemmed the lower part of the blouse as well, as you can see here. So I left about 1-inch opening for where I'm going to pass the elastic band through. So you are going to want to leave that as well. Like I said, I'm going to be using this smaller elastic band. So you want to grab your elastic band and get a safety pin like this. Put the safety pin, use the safety pin to hold the elastic, and then you're going to pass it through all around the shoulder of your blouse. Okay, so to know the amount of elastic band you are going to be needing, you might want to measure your shoulder all around, and you are going to remove about 2 inches to 3 inches from that measurement, depending on how tight you want the shoulder of your dress to be. So I just cut out elastic band, and there's another way too. You can just cut an elastic band, insert it all around the shoulder, and then try it on to see until you get your size, if you know what I mean. So you try it on to see that the shoulder fits. You drag the elastic band to the point where it is your size, and then you can go ahead and stitch. So you are also going to want to hold your elastic band with an office pin to make sure it doesn't get lost in the shoulder of your dress, okay, while you're putting it. So this is what I did for mine. I have inserted the elastic band all around the shoulder, so I'm going to drag it to make sure it fits to my size. All right, so I'm just going to pull the elastic band to my shoulder measurements. Like I was trying to explain to you, you can either take your the elastic band measurement, or you can just do it, measure it, and ensure that it's your size, and you're going to keep pulling till you get your shoulder size. All right, so once you are done attaching the elastic band, you're going to make sure that you distribute your fabric equally. Make sure that you know where it's fuller than the other. Just make sure everything is okay. And once you've achieved what you want, you're going to go ahead and pull the elastic band, the two of the elastic bands together, the two sides, and you're going to go ahead and take it to the sewing machine and stitch the elastic band together like so. Okay, so after doing that, you're going to go ahead and close the 1 inch you left open for the sleeve. So after doing that, this is what I have for the blouse. I really do like how this blouse turned out, and I enjoyed creating this for you, and I hope you enjoyed watching as well. I also hope you learned something from this. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and share my videos. And thank you so much for always coming back to watch my video. Until I see you in my next one, bye.